Stories about finding big hairy spiders in Poland are rare, but they do occur. If I could ask you, what is that beautiful spider on your hand? What's the species name? I'd like to buy a spider like that. What kind is it? Good morning, viewers. Damn, that's dirty. Let's do it again. Good morning, viewers. Today we're going to talk about a spider, and not just any spider. Under the last video I posted, which was about one of the most dangerous spiders in the world, the Atrax, I found a certain comment, and that comment made me realize which spider it was about. The entire cutaway that was recorded is actually a certain tarantula that I've never talked about in a video before. And that's how the idea for the video came about, and that's how the video is being made now. And to make this video, I need this container, because this is where the main character is sitting. You can even see the name already. Okay, now let's do this. Click. So the spider is like this, and if I poke it a little, you can see that it moves. Alright, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Amazing things. Before we introduce today's main hero, Pajong, I have two brief announcements. We'll meet on February 4th at the next Zoo Exotica in Warsaw. I'll put the event link and tickets in the video description, plus an update about my store. A new design inspired by Leonardo da Vinci is available, along with books like the Spider Atlas. In agreement with Przemek from the Arachnophobia channel, who is the author of this book, I have just introduced them for sale. And we're getting back to the spider that appeared in the cutaway. And oh, the spider and spider, hee hee, the spider that appeared in the cutaway and the one you asked about, dear viewer. That's exactly this spider. Here's today's main character, my friends. This species is now called Caribena versicolor. It was previously in the Avicularia genus before being reclassified to Caribena. A very nice sounding and exotic name. What's more, this spider also has a Polish name, and as far as I know, it's called the multicolored tarantula, which means it's a tarantula, and it's multicolored because it really impresses us with these colors here. And interestingly, these spiders change their colors a lot as they grow. The babies of this species are completely blue, and as the spider grows, it slowly develops its adult colors. And it ends up with a coloration where the carapace is blue-green, more blue, and the chelicerae are four greenish ones. And in addition, there's a dark burgundy coloration of the hairs that cover the whole body and give it a plush look. For this reason, versicolor is often called a plush toy among spiders, because it really does look like it's made of plush. It's just so fluffy. So do you know what it is now? This is Caribena versicolor. It's a tarantula. So now where does such a tarantula occur in nature? Because of course they do exist somewhere in the world. Well, it lives in Martinique. Martinique is an island. If you fly a bit east from Cuba, you'll find a chain of small islands. And one of them is Martinique, and that's where it lives. If we go there, and if we look carefully, and if we're a bit lucky, we'll find thick webs on the trees. And it's very likely that these thick webs belong to this species, because it lives there naturally. It's an arboreal spider, it lives in the trees, and that's where it roams around. Knowing it's an arboreal spider tells us something. And it's kind of quick. I mean, these spiders are agile, they can speed up, and they're very skittish. Or at least this individual is like that, and from what I can see, it reacts strongly to air vibrations, just like all tarantulas, because that's how they sense the world. And for example, if I shout, this spider will get scared. That's why I don't speak in a very raised voice, and I try to control my voice so as not to give it a reason. So he doesn't get upset here, since he gets annoyed if something bothers him, or if I accidentally blow on him. No, that's just the way this spider is. It's fast, it's quick, but as you can see, it's not a little devil. This spider is, let's say, relatively friendly to humans. It's not the same kind of friendship as with a dog or even a cat, but more like a dog. But first, it's not very venomous, so even if it bit me, nothing would really happen. And second, it calms down a bit when it's on your hands or in the terrarium. Actually, if it's being fed, it can attack quickly without any problem. It's a killer. Really, because like other tarantulas, it's simply made for killing insects, which are its main food. But if it now considers my hands as, just the ground, then honestly, there's nothing to be afraid of. And I really wouldn't expect it to bite here. I also wouldn't expect it to kick off urticating hairs, because yes, it does have urticating hairs. Just like the vast majority of New World spiders, meaning those from the Americas, this spider also has a mirror patch on its abdomen, which is simply a cluster of urticating hairs. Honestly, I have to admit I've never seen this species kick off its hairs. I know this happens in captivity because someone told me. This specimen is so well behaved it doesn't use its urticating hairs, even though it has them. That small spot on its back that changes color is actually a cluster of urticating hairs. It also has another pretty interesting technique, which is of course an escape technique. And listen, this spider jumps. In the previous episode, I recorded a segment with this spider, and then that question came up, but I didn't show you in the last video what this spider did once. These are stories about finding big hairy spiders. It just jumped off and glided down to the floor and started running away. So these spiders can jump, they're capable of it, and I'd say they do it pretty well. And interestingly, it's never happened to me, and I've never heard of a spider hurting itself by jumping or falling from some height. Even though spiders like, for example, those of the Brachypelma genus, which are those sluggish, ground-dwelling or burrowing species, if they fall from a height, they can kill themselves. Yes, their abdomen might burst or something like that, but these spiders don't have that problem. They have smaller, relatively smaller abdomens, and they're more agile. And because of that, I think it's much easier for them to survive a fall. And you could say that they're even adapted to that. So now let's talk about breeding. If someone would like to buy such a spider, they have to be prepared for a cost of, I don't know, 40-45 zlotys. Yes, that's about the price, though it may vary slightly depending on where you buy it. We'll buy this little blue guy, which, as I said, is a tiny spider. It looks totally different in color, and this little blue guy will be living with us. However, I've heard that a lot of people think this species is quite fragile. That means it's pretty hard to keep these little spiders alive. Honestly, I don't know if that's true. I haven't had many Caribbean versions of color, but I've had a few in my life, and really with most of these spiders there are no problems as long as you take care of the basic living conditions so that they're okay for them. So, we take care of the temperature, we take care of the humidity, and we make sure they have a bit of space. And then the spider usually doesn't cause any problems when it comes to keeping it. Theory is one thing, practice another, so I'll show you how I keep these spiders. I don't have spiderlings now, but when I did, I used containers like these. They're about 6 by 6 by 10 centimeters, something like that. They're vertical, so they're perfect for small spiders. Not much substrate, and they would always make their nest here, near the lid. But now I have big Caribena. I have one. And here, damn, where was she? I think not here, sorry. Oh no, not here either, damn. Where was the second Caribena? Here it is, and here's the other. So now I have two Caribena. This is the heroine I'm going to show you. As you can see, they stay in these 20 by 20 by 20 boxes and do well. You can keep them this way successfully. You need to water her a bit here and just, without any fuss, pour it right onto the substrate. I keep them in containers like these. Of course, you can also put them in terrariums like these, which are vertical and measure 20 by 20 by 30, and they'll live just fine there too. However, it's much easier to maintain good humidity and ventilation here. As you can see, it has plenty of airflow. I have two Caribena living with me, and that's how I keep them. You're not planning to bite me, right? No, generally holding spiders in your hand is all at your own risk. I'm aware that at any moment this spider can bite me, and you have to be aware of that. It's not very smart and doesn't understand its surroundings, except for needing to eat, drink, and reproduce. So you have to realize that a spider like this can also bite, even though it probably shouldn't. So that's all about breeding, and if someone wants to buy a big spider, well, a big spider is a bit more expensive. No, well, a female like this, because this is a female, I suspect she'll cost around 350-400 zlotys, because that's roughly how it's calculated. Males are cheaper, but they live shorter, are smaller, less fluffy, and a bit uglier. And a female, well, that's a good female. I showed off my knowledge, so what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? And that's basically it when it comes to this spider. Let me know if you liked the presentation, what you think of the spider, how you like the new t-shirt design, and how you like everything in general. How's life treating you? That's it. See you in the next video. Bye.